Hey girls, welcome back to my channel. So 2025 is almost here. And when I was thinking back on my 45-pound weight loss journey, I realized there were so many little habits I was doing that I thought were helping me, but I realized were actually making it super hard for me to lose weight, especially belly fat. So before you jump in setting big goals or starting a new program, you need to hear these first because they were completely sabotaging my progress. And I guarantee you're doing at least one of them, but probably more. And here's the most important thing. These habits didn't just help me finally lose 45 pounds and start to see results. They truly helped me feel more energized and more balanced, and just like I could take back control of my body. So I'm gonna break down each of the old habits, why it was such a problem, and what I did instead to lose 45 pounds. So if you're ready to start a fitness journey or become the most unrecognizable, amazing version of yourself in 2025, split the thumbs up. That just means give it a little click and stick around to the end of this video because I have a free 2-day detox meal plan I'm gonna give to you guys and share more about our January challenge. I have new videos every single week sharing my health and fitness journey to help you with yours, and weekly giveaways for my subscribers. So all you have to do is make sure you're subscribed and drop a comment each week on my videos. I pick a winner and share it over in the community channel and send you an amazing surprise to help you with your health and fitness goals. All right, so habit number 1. This is something I struggled with so hardcore, and I honestly believe it is the reason why I never got into a regular fitness routine, because I would go so hard for a short amount of time and get completely burnt out and then not be able to do anything for weeks after that. I thought over exercising, like just going to the max every single day, was gonna get me faster results, but ultimately it actually slowed down my progress and caused me to gain more weight, which I'll share why in a second, but it really slowed everything down. And I think it's easy to say don't over exercise, but it's hard to maybe know what that means because it is really individual. So here's what I learned. Being super sore doesn't necessarily mean it was a great workout. It could mean it actually was too much for your body. So there's a certain level of soreness that's gonna happen because when you are changing your body, when you are working out hard to grow those muscles, there's gonna be little muscle tears. That is normal, but it shouldn't be so much to the point where you just feel completely fatigued and burnt out. When you're over exercising, you're likely to increase your cortisol levels. And what happens when the cortisol spikes, that stress hormone in our body, signals to our body like it's freaking out. When that cortisol increases, it tells your body to hold on to the fat because it goes into fight or flight mode. It doesn't know when it's gonna get fed. It doesn't know how it's gonna recover. So it holds on to everything. So you think you're like going, and you're gonna burn more, but you actually could be holding on to more fat, especially in the midsection. And there have been studies that actually show that increased cortisol can increase visceral fat, which is that really dangerous fat that gets around the organ. I honestly never used to even factor in how over-exercising impacted my stress hormones and my cortisol. Like I just was focused. I was like, I'm gonna go hard, especially in January of a new year. I would go from 0 to 110 trying to go hard, but it never lasted. I just shared more about this in a video a couple weeks ago, like really how to start a fitness routine and what a sustainable weekly split and schedule should look like. So what I started doing was focusing on walking, really doing some yoga, more low intensity workouts daily to kind of set a baseline for myself because that felt good in my body and that was really maintainable. So a realistic time between 10 and 30 minutes, it doesn't need to be more than that. If you are working out 2+ hours, an hour or more even a day, you're probably over exercising. And then in that mix, I have 3 days of strength training, and I'm not lifting hundreds of pounds and breaking my body doing it. I want to challenge myself. I want to push myself, but it has to be sustainable. So when I finally started scaling back and kind of having a more moderate workout routine, I actually saw myself losing more weight. And I've seen that again since having Luke. I had my baby. I was going really hard and I feel like I wasn't seeing a ton of results. And I went back to just my normal schedule, following it in Move. And I feel like my body has leaned out so much. I feel like my stress level has clearly gone down. My cortisol has gone down. I'm less puffy. It all just is connected. The second habit I thought was gonna help me really cut a bunch of calories and just shed belly fat was either skipping breakfast or starting with just a little sugary breakfast. It was kind of in my intermittent fasting era, but I would go coffee first thing and think, okay, then I cut out a big bunch of group of calories in the morning and I'm gonna wait and I'll have less calories later in the day. The problem was it put a lot of stress on my body again. So by not getting a protein heavy meal first thing in the day, I was typically spiking my cortisol level, I was spiking my blood sugar level, and I'd have these crashes. So then I would actually go and eat more sugary, high fat foods that I didn't need. And I was worse off because I would have just had more of like a normal, maintainable nutrition throughout the day, like diet throughout the day. But because of this restricting myself, I get all hungry and crazy. And then I'd be like, oh, I just need to eat something, and eat the things that probably were not the best choices for me. Because honestly, when you have those dips and crashes, especially in like your blood sugar level, and your cortisol is already high in the morning, so then if you spike it even more, it's gonna dip. That just makes you more tired and makes you have worse cravings. So don't think skipping breakfast is going to be like the end all be all. Especially for women, intermittent fasting is just not that ideal for your hormones, which are key if you're trying to lose belly fat. You have to get some good healthy fats, and especially a high protein meal early on in the day. That doesn't mean it has to be 7 a.m. the second you wake up, but earlier in the day. Okay, number 3, you guys, I have to be 100% honest with you and transparent, because this is one that I still struggle with at times, but I know, and I have to lock back in, and it's one of those habits I have to break. Every couple years, it sneaks its way back into my life. That is using coffee as a crutch. And what I mean is, not only if you're trying to cut calories, but when you are busy, and this is how the cycle works. You're trying to cut calories, you're making poor health and food decisions, then your cortisol spiking, so you're stressed out. So then you crave more things and you eat worse food, and then you want to cut more calories, so you try to cut out real food, and then you're drinking coffee. It's just like, it's a bad cycle. I will find myself sometimes drinking multiple cups of coffee to power through the day instead of trying to grab an actual nutritious meal. And here's why that is so problematic if you're trying to lose belly fat. Too much caffeine, especially if it's on an empty stomach, so first thing in the morning, even if you just have too much caffeine throughout the day, it can cause a huge spike in your cortisol level. And it honestly just makes you feel like anxious and jittery. And if you do that and you don't feel anxious and jittery, it's probably because your body has now adjusted, which is even a worse thing. Some studies have even shown having more than 200 milligrams of caffeine, which is like 2 cups of coffee, having more than that can increase your cortisol for up to 3 hours. So you're basically in this stress state inside your body for hours and hours more than you're supposed to be. And the worst part is when you have these like long elevated periods of time where your cortisol is higher than it's supposed to be, you increase your fat storage. If you haven't already gotten the picture here, all of these things that are putting stress on our body are increasing our cortisol levels, which are negatively impacting our ability to lose weight. So even if you are working out hard and you're eating well otherwise, if you are doing these things, you are going to have a lot of struggle and trouble trying to actually burn that belly fat. You girls know I love my coffee. I love it so much. I feel like this is a conversation we always have in videos because like I'm on and off my coffee train, but now I've been doing Pep Rally, so I feel better because it's only 100 milligrams of caffeine. It's from green tea, and the ashwagandha helps balance it so you're not getting that big spike like you would get from just pure coffee. So I'll have my half calf coffee in the morning, which is only like 50 milligrams, and then if I have this in the afternoon, this is 100. So I'm really trying to limit it to help reduce my cortisol levels because life is stressful enough. The 4th thing that I really struggled with was late night snacking, mostly because I would restrict myself so much during the day. I wouldn't eat breakfast. I'd be drinking all this coffee. I'd be like, I'd have a big old dinner, and then I'd be like, well, I didn't eat a lot during the day, so like I'll just kind of make up for it and have some stuff now. The problem is, if you've watched my other videos where I've shared other habits and tips, you know, I'm a chip girl, a cereal girl. Like I could go through boxes and bags in a single sitting, and I would just mindlessly snack watching TV or a movie or whatever, doing homework at the end of the night. And that is so horrible because it's making your body and your digestive tract work overtime, which you're like, well, if it's working, isn't that a good thing? No. Here's what happens when you're snacking and then you try to go to sleep. You're gonna have disrupted sleep. Your cortisol again is going to be spiking, and your sleep patterns are gonna get all messed up. And if you are not getting 7 but like 8 or 9 hours of sleep a night, you're gonna have a really hard time losing weight. It is hugely correlated to our body's ability to lose weight because of the hormones that are working for us in our sleep in a great way. Okay, so now what I do is I try to really be mindful of giving myself at least 2 hours before I go to bed to stop eating. I can have tea, I can drink water, I can do all that, but like no actual food going in my body, which is sometimes really hard because by the time we get our son down and make my dinner and everything else, like it gets a little bit later. But I really strive for that 2-hour break, and I make sure that I'm focused on getting snacks throughout the day that are high protein. When I'm hitting 140 grams of protein a day, I'm satiated. That means like I'm full and not craving things all day long. I don't feel like I have the need to grab like all the extras, even even if they're around. Like I just don't feel the need because I don't have those cravings. My cortisol is where it's supposed to be and I just feel my best. So like that focus on protein helps me balance throughout the day so I don't have the late night snacking, so I can give myself 2 hours, so I can get a good night's sleep and actually allow my body to do the work it needs to do during that rest to help me burn fat. Okay, number five. No, it's not just me. I don't know if it's like a girl thing. I know some girls are more assertive. This one is not like what you would expect at all, but it is so impactful in your ability to lose weight. For me, this was something that I did not recognize at all until I met Ryan. And it's funny when I look back because when I met Ryan, I was at my heaviest. I had already started implementing a lot of these things, but this last one took a couple months and that's when I really saw so much weight start falling off. I'm gonna call this habit the teapot because for me, this is about letting stress bottle up without having an outlet or a way to get it out of your body. And I know you're like, Katie, I thought we were talking about weight loss. Why are you talking about mental stress? Because again, coming back to the cortisol, if you don't understand how stress impacts your cortisol levels, if you don't understand how this food impacts your cortisol and how cortisol impacts our ability to burn fat, especially to lose belly fat, it's gonna be hard all the time. But these are easy. If you understand this, it's these easy little habits and tweaks you can make that truly are gonna have such an impact on your body. I am an empath. I don't like to talk about stuff. I just hold it in and I get over it. But really, I think I just hold it in my body. And when you do that, your cortisol levels spike and it brings you back to that chronic state of high cortisol. So you're always in that like flight or fight mode instead of where your body naturally has times where cortisol is higher and naturally lower. And that's how it's supposed to be. So I used to be the one who would be upset about stuff, whether it was my physical body, the progress I was or wasn't making, life, like anything around me, I would just hold in and just physically consume it all. And why I said Ryan was so helpful for me with this is he is a talker. He wants to talk about everything. And anytime I'd be like, it's fine, I'm fine. He'd be like, no, like we need to talk about it. And it became like the first time I felt like I really had an outlet to get that stress out of my body and share it somewhere. That and then finding my daily routine with exercise. Exercise physiologically changes the way we feel and think. It's going to help reduce stress, helps improve your mood. It increases your endorphins, all those happy hormones. So it's really hard to have high cortisol and be super stressed when you also are increasing your endorphins and like getting that stress out of your body. You're naturally gonna like find that happy medium and your body is going to start showing you results. Now, years later, I lost the 45 pounds. I've kept it off all this time. And I do truly believe a lot of it is because I've been able to figure out these stress management tools for myself. Here's something crazy. There's actually research that shows doing like these stress reducing habits can reduce your cortisol levels by 20%. 20%. That's a lot just by trying to reduce like mental stress. And just imagine how much lower it'll go once you start incorporating these other habits. So if you're feeling like stuck or overwhelmed, you're not really sure where to begin, just start with one of these. Like I said, I'm sure you're probably doing at least one of these right now. So find at least one that you can change in your daily routine starting today. Do not wait for January 1st or the middle of the month or next Monday. Start it today. And if you're open to, drop it in the comment down below, share what it is so we can all help keep you accountable. All right, I mentioned in the beginning of the video, I have a free 2-day detox meal plan for you. And this is a healthy detox because those crazy juice cleanses or extreme diets are not healthy. They are gonna increase your cortisol and stress your body out. So this is about nourishing your body, but helping give you a reset and a jumpstart into a healthy weight loss plan. All you need to do to get the detox meal plan is hit the link below and drop your email on the landing page. It's gonna share all the information for my January challenge that starts on January 6th. It's the Tone Body Challenge. It's a 30-day fitness challenge. We're gonna have new videos in the Move app every single week. And I have an amazing offer for you to get started with Move. So go check all that out. But the meal plan is totally free. So even if that's all you need to jumpstart your year, it's yours. All right, girls, I hope you love this video. I have so much coming for you in 2025. So drop a comment down below. Let me know what videos you want to see more of, or if there's something I've never done that you want to see here on Love Sweat Fitness, tell me because I'm in full planning mode. All right, I love you guys. I'll see you soon. Bye.